Hi, everybody. Thanks for joining us today. My name is Nouran Bouznif. I'm in charge of the UBFC Alumni Social Professional Network of UBFC. I'm happy to welcome you all for this second session of questions and answer with the Euraxess centers of Bourgogne and Franche-Comté. And let's also welcome Anne-Clémence Voisin and Lisa Osorio. Lisa works at the University of Franche-Comté and Anne-Clémence at the University of Burgundy. I'm sure that some of you have already met them. They are both in charge of assisting foreign researchers in different kinds of administrative processes. And for today's session, you've been asked to send us some questions in advance, and Anne-Clémence and Lisa will give you answers during about 40 minutes. Before we start, let me give you a few instructions. I remind you that this video conference is being recorded so that you can watch the replay later. It will be published on the UBFC Alumni website. If you have questions or comments, you can write them down in the chat box at the right of your screen. Please don't forget to turn off your webcam and microphones. And thank you for your attention. I wish you a nice event.
Thank you, Nouran. Hi, everybody. Thank you, first of all, thank you for the questions you wrote in the forms you completed. And so what we did to prepare this event is to gather these questions into main topics. And the main topics we will talk about today are the following. First of all, visa issues, but we will not stay too long about this issue because we talked about it last time. Also, we will talk about the research stays. Secondly, we'll talk about health and complementary health insurance. So how social security and health insurance work in France. Also, we will talk about career and fundings. Later, we'll speak about tax and how to declare taxes and pay taxes. And in the end, we will answer to some other questions, like, for example, how to apply to a university library. So, so first of all, we had a few questions about the types of visa. Well, it will be quite general, but what I can tell is that we have two types of visa. We have short stay visa. So for a short stays of less than 90 days, and this one, for example, if you are invited in France and you are working or studying in a foreign country, if you need a visa to come to France, for a stay of less than 3 months or 90 days, you will be able to get a short-term visa. It is not renewable, so be careful. It's not possible if you need to get a short stay visa. You cannot get another one just following this one if, for example, your work contract or your research stay is has been prolongated. So also regarding this short stay visa, you need to check on the website of francevisa.gouv.fr, which is written by my colleague on the comment part. All the nationalities don't need to get a short stay visa. It depends on the countries and bilateral agreements. Of course, European citizens and citizens from Switzerland, Norway, Liechtenstein, and Iceland don't need any visa, any type of visa, short stay or long stay visa. But there are also other nationalities that don't need short stay visa. But please always check on this website. And if you are willing to stay longer for then you will need a long stay visa if you are not a European citizen or from Switzerland and the other 3 countries I mentioned. Be careful, because sometimes we have some, for example, American citizen or other citizens from nationalities that don't need a short stay visa. They come as tourists, and then they would like to apply for a long stay visa to work in France, but it's not possible. If before leaving your country you need the visa that correspond to the duration of stay in France. So if you know that you will stay in France for more than 3 months, then you will need a long stay visa if you're not European and the other countries I mentioned. Also, regarding the research stay, we had a question about the research stay, research stays in general in France. So I don't know if you are already living in France, if you are interested. Maybe you will be interested later in your career, because you may be interested to come back to your country and find a permanent position, let's say, and then you will come back to France as an invited professor, let's suppose in this case. Then you will be able to come as an invited researcher, and if you need a visa, you could get a visa passeport talent chercheur and get a hosting agreement if you have a funding of at least 1,650 euros right now. It corresponds to the minimum, to the net salary of a PhD student in contract. So if you have a funding, or if you keep your salary from your home university, then in these 2 cases, it's possible to get this hosting agreement and get this type of visa, passeport talent chercheur. Otherwise, if you have a funding of less than the minimum asked, then you would be able to get a student visa, even if you are not a student. So my colleague will write in the comments part an explanation about the framework of the research stays in France. It's the web page is in French, but you would be able to translate it in your navigator to get all this information about this. Also for European citizens and from Switzerland, also, you don't need any visa to come to France, even for these research stays, but you will need anybody coming in this framework will need to fill a research stay agreement, which says how much you got as a funding, and also we have the dates and the projects that will be followed, and all this, all the frame. So that's it for the questions we had about visa and research stay. Now I let my colleague Lisa talk about career and fundings.
Thank you. Hi, everyone. So I will continue on the career topic. First of all, I just wanted to let you to know to all international PhD that you actually can really contact Candice Chailloux, which is working at the UBFC, because she's in charge of the valorization of the PhD, and she is giving any type of advice and support for the career of PhD. So really contact her and you will have a lot of information. Regarding the fundings, especially for a postdoc or any type of fundings in research stay, Anne-Clémence will give you some type of website that are actually giving all the type of financial and fundings that support that are opened now. They are actualizing it, and you can find any type of funding on this website. Also, don't forget to use the Euraxess portal, because there are all the Euraxess network has access to any page of publishing any post and job offers, also fundings. So you really should look about because what we are doing actually here in Dijon, Besançon, and Franche-Comté and Bourgogne, we actually made it, and there are some people that are making it in all around the world, and especially in the European Union. So you will have a lot of information there to maybe take a look. Also, you have any type of tools on the Euraxess account, so maybe it can help you to find a way to valorize yourself, valorize your own research. Don't hesitate to use these tools in order to maybe open a bit your mind on what is possible for you, the type of activities you can have. After this, actually, the career is really personal, so you may want to keep going on the career in academia. You should know that this is actually really open to you as an international PhD and postdoctoral, but it's a bit difficult in France to keep going, because there are so few places. But actually, you should know that you are really aware to make a lot of other stuff. You can actually make your startup, start a company, go and work in the international institution. Depending on what you have done, you can go to the industrial field. So you have a lot of opportunities, and maybe don't let yourself just in academia, because you are really capable to make a lot of other stuff in your life. We actually had some question regarding how to be a PhD, to be a teacher, English teacher in college and high school. So in order to do that, you can't be as a titular person, because for non-European nationalities, but you can make some replacement. So you can actually be a teacher in English. The question was to be a teacher in English, so you can actually do it and make some replacement. You should see on the website of the Ministry of Education here in France, if you are interested. Also, don't forget here at the university that you are completely eligible to get ATR contract, which is a contract where you are making both research and teaching. So you are definitely you can definitely apply to this type of contract. And we had another question, the last question regarding opening. It was, I think, a consulting office. So I don't know if it was any type of expertise, a counselor, or psychology. It was not mentioned. But if you want to make your own startup or your own company, you need to make some paperwork in order to let the state here in France that you will be opening a company. So you have some administrative paperwork to file. But if you don't want to start yourself on all this paperwork, that can be a bit scary, you can also associate yourself with any type of counseling cabinet that is already opened. So, well, that was more or less the question we had on the career topics. And now Anne-Clémence will continue on the health issues.
Yes, thank you, Lisa. And I hope all this information, well, you saw that we also add some links, so it's really tough. We have a lot of information to share, so please let us know if it's clear, and also keep these links if you are interested. So about health issues, we had questions about carte vitale, this green card that is about is useful to get some reimbursement, and also about complementary health insurance. So first of all, I will just remind you some basic things about health insurance in France. In general, we call it social security, which is higher, I mean, than just health insurance. But when we talk about social security, we talk about health insurance as well. So depending on your status, if you are invited in France, or if you are working in France, or just studying, you will have to be affiliated, to apply to the health insurance at CPAM. So depending on your status, I will write it to you. If you are working as passeport talent chercheur, if you have this type of visa, passeport talent chercheur, passeport talent chercheur, then you will have to apply to the CPM of Paris if you are employed in France. If employed in France, okay. Then for the other one, for example, for the students studying in France and not working, then you will have to apply to the CPM of the city you are living in. So the CPM of your place of residence. And for the other one who are working in France and they don't have this visa passeport talent chercheur, you may, depending on the city you are living in, you may be affiliated also to MGEN, another regime. So it's kind of complicated. If you did not understand, or if you have a doubt about your situation, write to us and we will try to give you some tips to know which one is should be your social security. But you have to know that in France we have it works the same. It's just that some depending on your status, you may be you may be affiliated to one or another. Also, regarding the reimbursement, if you are working in France, you are covered since the first day of your work contract. But if you've just arrived in France, it takes a long time to get affiliated and also to get this green card called carte vitale. Around 3 or 4 months, and sometimes it can be longer because sometimes they lose the papers. So I'm really sorry for all the troubles you may go into. We don't have much solution, but if you need any help, of course you can contact us. So when you get this green card, then you will be able to use it when you go to the doctor, and it will be teletransmitted directly to the social security that will give the amount of money. It's around 70%, but it depends of the consultation. If you would like to get to be 100% reimbursed in France for your health, for your medical expenses, and if you are covered by, for example, you have different types. I will not get into details, but you have different types of honoraires. If you take a sector 1, then you, with a complementary health insurance, you should be reimbursed at 100% at the doctor. And you have some information about on the website of Amélie. So this is important to know that the basic social security in France does not reimburse 100%. And also, you have to know that the complementary health insurance is not compulsory. If you never go to the doctor and if you don't want to have one, then it's completely okay. You are not obliged to get one, at least at the university, because in some firms, or sometimes you can be asked to have one. But if you work at the university or if you are a student, then you are not obliged. It's much better if you go to the hospital, for example, or because it can be expensive. So how can you choose a complementary health insurance? My colleague Lisa will send you a few links. We can propose 3 links. They are comparators of complementary health insurance. And the best would be to evaluate it according to your needs, for glasses or for teeth, or and it's much better to have one, according to me, but not compulsory again. And it's up to you regarding the choice you will make about the company which will be better for you and at a better price. Also, something important: if you are employed by the university, you can ask for a participation of university to pay this complementary health insurance, and the university will give you on your salary 15 euros for this year, and I think it will be a bit higher from next year, but now it's 15 euros to help you pay this complementary health insurance. You just need to send to the human resources of your employer a document, an attestation that says that you have a complementary health insurance, and give the informations needed. And also one last thing. Two last thing about this: if you don't have a social security number and you would like to be covered by a complementary health insurance, then I have learned a few days ago that, for example, MGN, maybe others, they allow you, even without the fixed social security number, they allow you to apply for this complementary health insurance so that you are covered since you arrive. Because otherwise, it won't be retroactive. I mean, the basic social security will cover you from the first day of your work contract. You will keep all the bills and you will ask for a reimbursement afterwards. But regarding this complementary one, health insurance, this complementary mutual, then it won't be retroactive. So it's not possible to get some full reimbursement if you were not registered. So it's better to have some information as soon as possible about it. Last thing, if you need to find any doctor, you have a platform called Doctolib, which can be really useful because it's also written how much they reimburse if they are doctors of sector 1, sector 2, convention, not convention, because sometimes you are less reimbursed according to this. And also you can find doctors who are speaking other languages, in English, for example. So please keep this link, it can be useful. And that's it for health issues.
And now I will continue with the fiscality and the tax declaration, especially because you should know that even if it's your first time that you need to declare, you absolutely need, it's mandatory to get your social security number in order to make your tax declaration. So you really need to do it, and if you can't do it, it's okay, don't worry. We will explain to you, I will explain to you how it's working. So actually, to make the tax declaration, you need to be considered as a fiscal resident in France. A fiscal resident in France is a person that's living in France for 6 months and a day, which means 183 days. So if you are then a fiscal resident in France, you probably have seen in your payslip that we will show you after that. So a line saying that net à payer avant impôt sur le revenu, which is saying like the next salary to be paid before the tax incomes on your incomes. This amount means that actually, so the tax are taking off your salary each month. It's mandatory. Everybody has it. So you have your incomes paying each month. The reason why you need to make the declaration in taxes is in order to know what is your the percentages of tax incomes. Actually, you need to do the declaration of taxes on the year. For this year, 2023, you will need to make the tax declaration for the previous year, 2022. It's normal because you will need to declare what were your incomes for during the entire year, and after that, so the public financial service will kind of make calculation on what will be your personal percentages of tax income. After that, after making this tax declaration, which is generally between April and June, it's only once a year, you will receive during the summer your first avis d'imposition, it's called. So it means like your advice of tax incomes, and you will have your personal percentages. This percentages can be higher or lesser than the one you had in your previous payslip. You should know that maybe they will ask you then to pay a bit, because they will make like a sum of recalculation that maybe you have paid less taxes incomes that you should know that you should have, or the contrary, they can reimburse yourself because they will at the end consider that regarding your personal situation, you have paid more tax incomes that you should have. In order to make the tax declaration, you need to get a fiscal number. If it's your first year, it's normal. You don't have any personal tax number. So there are two ways to get it. Anne-Clémence gives you the formula. So either you can actually get the formula before, for example, let's say that you have arrived this year, so you won't have to make any tax declaration for this year. So you can actually get your personal tax rate thanks to this formula. You are completing it, and then they will make you your personal your personal tax percentage of tax income. If you don't have it and you need to make your declaration here now, so you will have to make the declaration on paper. You can't make it online. You will make the first one on paper. The paper will be available either on the website of impôt.gouv or either on the public finances office. Sorry. And you have different ways to ask them for your personal tax number. You can write them, you can go there. And if you have any question, really, we advise you to go directly to the finance public service and office of your residency, because they will be able to answer any of your questions. Actually, normally you have any, Anne-Clémence is giving you the advice of how to declare, what do you need to declare, especially mainly your personal incomes. But if you have any type of other type of incomes than your own salary, you should declare it also. If you are married, you need to make the declaration together with the incomes of your husband or your wife. You don't have to do it if you're not married, if you don't want to. It's up to you. But there are a lot of information on the website. On the website itself. If you have any further question on how to make it, we can help you, but we are not expert in fiscality either. So really find your tax centers of your residency, and they will help you a lot And in any case, you should know that if you have made any mistake, there is not any trouble at all. You will be able to fix the solution, and you can go there again to explain your situation and what you've made. That can be a mistake because you forget this, or maybe you needed this. So don't stress yourself about the tax declaration. It's complicated even for French people. You have then the tuto, which is 3 minutes of video that explain you quite easier is the way to declare, how you need to declare, what you need to declare. So you can use it. And also you will see on your payslip, and we will present you after that. So you have at the end, at the bottom of the payslip, that you have on the corner an amount saying that this is the impossible the tax. Let's say the salary, the amount you need to declare at this payslip. So, for example, for myself, as I will make my own personal tax declaration, I will use my payslip from December, and I will use the amount writing on December that I should declare in my tax declaration. I hope it's a bit easier to understand, and that you have understand a bit more about the fiscality. But again, if you have any specific question, please contact Anne Clémence, contact myself, and we will help you the best we can.
Thank you, Lisa. And I will show you now, because we were asked about the payslips and how to understand payslips, and it will make a link with taxes. I will try to share my screen. Okay, and it's the one translated in English. So you can see how it works. You can see a payslip that seems the one that university give us. Okay, so you have the first part on above that reminds the status, the grade, excuse me, the gross salary, social, no, general information, yes, but we cannot see very well, and also your status and job. So this is the first part, and also the number of hours, working hours, at the on the right. In the body of the payslip, we have several explanations about. First of all, you have the gross salary, and then you have all the social contributions that are developed. So they explain that, for example, you will pay social contribution for social security, contribution to the to get some trainings, for example, or well, in this page that we will send you, it is developed. You have a lot of specific things, and I'm not sure it's really interesting to develop all the parts. Just for you to know that you have three columns. The first one is what will be given to you, what will be paid. So you have gross salary. You have also the reimbursement of for example, let's say you have to pay the public transport, a monthly subscription to the public transport. Well, if you are employed by the university or by, yeah, let's say university, then they will reimburse you half of the amount of this monthly subscription. You have to give the bill, and after the human resources will add it into your payslip. Also, you can have, for example, home office compensations. I don't know if it works for teachers or researchers, but for example, for administrative staff, or we have some compensation when we work at home. Also, we have this complementary health insurance benefit that I told you about. It's 15 euros per month. So this will be on the first column about what the employer has to pay you. But your gross salary will be less because on the second column we have all what needs to be paid to the states. So these contributions, and so your gross salary will get will be less afterwards. And the third column is called for information, and it's what the administration will have to pay for you to the state, because you know that the cost of employment is higher for the employer. Okay, so in the end of this payslip, you have net à payer in the middle, and it's the net salary, but it's written net salary to be paid before tax income. So it means that according to your tax rate, you will get less each month. So then it's written taux personnalisé, personalized rate. So it can move according to the information you will send to the public administration about tax, the tax administration. And so you will get the net à payer, the net income. It's at the bottom, at the end of the payslip, net à payer. And it's the salary with everything paid and what will be on your bank account. But the amount of money you will have to declare to the tax institution is written, we cannot see very well, but it's written on your payslip. Net imposable.
Yeah. Sorry, I think that you can go more on the bottom of the page, and I think they are enlightening some stuff.
Okay, great. Thank you. Yes, okay. So better. So you have the net salary here, and also you have montant imposable de l'année. So here, here we have the amount of money you have to declare to the tax institution. So it's quite easy, and as Lisa said, if you take the last pay slip of the year, for example the one of December, then you will have all the tax income you will have to declare of the whole year. And also we have another website which is really important. It's called ENSAM, and you can download all your payslips. And also they have also a fiscal attestation, so on this website ENSAM. So if you are employed by a public institution, then you have an access. You have to create your account. You have an access of all your payslips. Please download them, because they will not keep it for entire life. If you need after for your retirement, the proofs that you've been working in France, keep all the documents. And also at the end of the year or the beginning of next year, for example, now in February, I think, we received the fiscal attestation for 2022. So try to be careful about the document they put here. So that's it for the payslip, and I will finish with an information we were asked. So about university libraries. I just think that somebody's writing, so maybe it's about the payslips. Well, we will wait and we will try to answer afterwards. So regarding the university libraries, if you are a student, then you will not have to pay nothing to be registered on the university library. Normally, it should be automatic. I mean, you should go to with your student card to the university library and just uh, check if everything is created, if they have your number, no, your name and everything. You can borrow books. And also you have you have printers, you have also some trainings about some softwares that you can use for your research. Well, I advise you to check on on the university libraries to see what they offer. And also regarding the invited, well, for the people, for the researchers working at the university, also it's free, and they can borrow the amount of books that is allowed. And they have access to everything, of course. But for invited PhD students or invited researchers, it's a bit different. For example, in Dijon or at University of Bourgogne, it's free because if you show as an invited PhD student or researcher, then you can get a card as an invited, well, as a lector, and you will be exonerated. You will not have to pay fees, but you will have less access, less opportunities. But anyway, normally you don't have to pay nothing. You have to present your research stay agreement if you are invited, and that's it. I think it's the same at the University of Franche-Comté. So I hope it answered to your question. And I see that we are on time.
Yes. Do you have maybe any question about what we've talked about? In any case, you can write us, and you will have access to the video afterwards on the UBFC website.
Yes, Lisa, I will write all the links and information you gave in the article where you will find the video replay, so that you will have most information you need. And yes, we have a we have a question, I think, in the chat.
Yes. Okay, then we will talk about that. Forkan, thank you for your comment. We will talk about that maybe later, because yeah, I know what you mean. What's the issue? Okay, then we will try to find another way, another accommodation, and we will talk about that. Maybe better to have an appointment. Thank you, Forkan.
Okay,
So,
thank you. So no more question apparently. Oh, someone is writing. So maybe one last question. But otherwise, well done, girls, because you were right on time. So well
For
done.
for once.
It's
and
not easy.
there were a lot of issues to be talked
Yes.
about. To be.
I think Teresa was writing, but
In any case, thank you all for your question also, because I think that we have seen that a lot of issues are the same, and you thank you, Teresa.
thank you.
So thank you for all your question, actually, because yes, we know that you are confronting yourselves to the same topics, the same issues, and the same troubles. So again, if you have any issues, get an appointment with us. We can meet. We can make some stuff and any administrative process together. So don't hesitate to contact us.
Thank
Thank
you
for your
all.
presence.
Thank you.
You will all receive by email the link in a few days to watch the replay, the video replay. And I will give you in the chat box the link to the last replay, the replay of the February events, where Anne-Clémence and Lisa answered questions about visa, the right to stay in France, etc. So if you missed this event and you want to know more about visa and etc., you can access the article and watch the replay if you want. Thank you all for attending this meeting. We are looking forward to more meetings to see us to other events. Thank you again, Anne-Clémence and Lisa, for hosting this event. I wish you all a nice day and we hope to see you soon. Bye-bye.
Have a great lunch.
Bye.
Bye.